Hi, I'm Nicole Lee, Health, Beauty, and More. Um, I'm just kicking back tonight and looking at some of the information, the speech that Trump gave, and I'm going through the different media. And there's just not a lot about Hillary right now. When I go through to look for the mainstream media, companies like ABC, CBS, NBC, I don't see anything at all. So she's just not in the press right now because there's just not a lot that they can say that's good about her. And they are definitely, they're crack media stations. They're leaning towards her in so many ways, and they're not into anything right wing or conservative, so they're very left biased, as you know, the liberal media, as they say. And it just cracks me up that he has, Trump has outwitted her in so many ways now, and he's the comeback kid, is what I guess is a term you can use, since his ratings are going to shoot way up high on approval. I just know it, because of what he's doing to turn things around for him. And he had to take a risk, for one thing, to go to Mexico, not knowing what the result would be when he talked to the president of Mexico. And the name is very long, and I don't want to misquote or anything on his how to pronounce his name, because it might come out sounding a little unflattering, unflattering, because I do have that way. I'm kind of fun and funny as well. But talking about Hillary is not my favorite subject because there's so much information about her that proves her being a sociopathic liar. And all the people, even in the last 6 weeks, that have died from the Democratic National Convention were people that had inside information about her emails and her foundation. So, I mean, people don't know how far back her criminal record goes, but she's gotten away with one thing after another for decades. And it's just I don't know if I want to use the word stupidity, but it's lack of knowledge on the part of the people that are supporting her, because they don't believe or want to look at her history. And I'm making up for a lot of mistakes by the fact that I did not study history and wasn't even interested in politics until lately. But this campaign that we're going into is a make it or break it campaign, if you ask me. And it's really going to make a big difference as to how our country ends up, if it's going to survive at all. I agree with about 99% of what Trump is proposing. There's some areas that I would like him to look more closely at that may not be important to him, such as the global warming issue. But you can't have perfection in a candidate. And I also have to look at who he picked as a vice presidential pick, and I like the way he comes across to America. And it's really gotten me pumped up about, a change that we need. It's necessary for our survival. I really believe that. And there's so many things on, not just on immigration, but I mean all his policies and things that he is proposing that are outlined. And tonight he really went into 10 specific steps on immigration when he gave that. And I knew it was going to be good. I felt it in my gut before he even came on. I knew it. I knew that he was taking huge steps. And this guy is so baldacious, if that's a word, to go forward, fly out of Mexico to talk to the president, where so many people in that country despise Trump because they know he wants to deport a lot of people back to Mexico. So even when I go looking at the chat rooms when they're live streamed, I see more and more trolls with nasty remarks. And I didn't used to see so many. But in when I'm looking at that, I'm wondering if maybe that's because there's so many more immigrants out here, not only from Mexico, but thousands upon thousands of immigrants from the Middle Eastern countries like Syria, where they have no idea, even in Syria, who they're sending, what their backgrounds are. They don't give a damn. They're sending them regardless. In fact, they hardly send any Christians at all. And Christians are hated by the terrorists, as you know, Islamic terrorists. And so they're not sending many Christians here. We don't know what we're ending up with. And I can barely wait to see the change that's going to take place in January. We're going to have to wait a long time if you think about it. But it's not that long. But I mean, Obama must just be shaking his head that he can't convince people right now is not a good time for Hillary. And he's trying to promote her, as well as, I believe, some other third-party candidates. They're going to get out there and rally and hold conferences and speeches on her behalf, probably because she's not physically able to deal with a lot of it. And it's been like since the end of December last year, 2015, since Hillary's even had a news conference. What kind of person is that won't have a news conference? What are they afraid of? Well, dealing with her health issues and her anxiety with lights and people and too many questions and neurological problems, I can see where she's avoiding a lot of contact that way with those sort of things that trigger things. Well, her day is going to come because those debates are coming up, and I will, kid you not, I will be rooting for Trump if there's anybody, would have to be anybody but Hillary that I'd be rooting for, because she's like the last person on earth that I was even interested in. And if you like Hitler, then vote for Hillary. I don't know what to tell you, but she's a liar, and she doesn't tell the truth even to the FBI. And I think that Comey should be in trouble for some of the things that he's allowed her to get away with. But that's the Clintons, and if she gets into office, she'll for sure, I'm sure she'll take her husband and have him as United Nations agent, and we're already going down the tubes right now. And if with Obama, but she'd be 10 times worse. So I'm just telling you, I've been telling people all along, and the stupidest ones will say they don't understand why anybody would be foolish enough to vote for somebody who is a racist. Well, he's not, but they just want to believe what they want to believe. And the ones that are truly going to vote for her, they don't want to look at her record. They want to believe that she is telling the truth when in fact she's not. In fact, I see through so much of what she says that when all she has is attack in her mouth. And that's all she has going for her, is to attack her opponent. Every single thing she has said about her opponent usually is like, you know how when you point a finger at somebody, there's one finger pointed to them, 3 towards themselves? Well, that's how I think when I think of what she's doing. I think I turned it all around because I really believe she's talking about herself. This is just food for thought. And excuse my appearance, but it is time to go to bed. It's 10:20, and I just wanted to get this in so you could see what I'm going through, and I hope you agree with me, and I'd love to hear your comments. So I'll put something out there that'll get your attention. Subscribe, don't forget. Bye bye now. Nicole Lee, Health, Beauty, and More.